Section 1. The paper illusion. Redefining ownership. Ownership feels like a simple, solid concept. It feels like a name on a piece of paper, a deed in a safe deposit box, a title registered with a government office. We hold up these documents and say, "This is mine." It's a declaration that seems absolute, a line drawn in the sand between what belongs to us and what belongs to everyone else. This belief is comforting. It provides a sense of security and clarity in a complicated world. We think we understand ownership because we think it is binary, you either own something or you do not. But this common understanding is an illusion, a convenient shorthand that obscures a much more complex reality. The paper title is merely the beginning of the story, not its conclusion. True ownership is not a single, monolithic right. Instead, it is a bundle of rights, a collection of permissions and restrictions that are constantly in flux. The mistake we make is confusing the symbol of ownership, the legal document, with the substance of ownership. Section 2. The three pillars: control, access, governance, visual diagram. These are the levers that determine who holds power and who reaps rewards. Let's start with control. Control is the power to make key decisions about an asset. It is the ability to say yes or no, decide to sell a car, decide to paint it a different color, decide to lend it to a friend. In a shared office, control shows up in small decisions: who sets the thermostat, which brand of coffee is bought, the cleaning schedule. Those choices affect everyone, regardless of who owns the building. Next, access. Access is the right to use or benefit from an asset. Access is often distinct from control. Section 3. The anatomy of a house. Beyond the deed. Let's apply this framework to something familiar. A house. On the surface, owning a home seems like the quintessential example of simple, direct ownership. You buy it, you get the deed, and it is yours. But let's look closer through the lens of control, access, and governance. The legal owner, the person on the deed, certainly appears to have control. They can decide to paint the walls, renovate the kitchen, plant a garden in the backyard. This is the control we typically associate with home ownership, the freedom to shape one's own space and create a personal sanctuary. But this control is never absolute. The owner's decisions are constrained by a web of external governance structures. The city's zoning board, a powerful governance body, dictates whether you can build an addition, run a business from your home, or even what color you can paint your front door in some historic districts. A homeowners association might impose even stricter rules, governing everything from the height of your grass to the type of fence you can install. The owner may hold the deed, but the HOA's rulebook holds a significant share of the control, limiting the owner's autonomy in profound ways. Now consider access. The owner who lives in the house has exclusive access. But what if the owner rents it out? In that case, the owner retains the title and some measure of control, like the right to sell, but they have transferred the right of access to the tenant. The tenant now has the right to occupy the space and enjoy its use. The relationship is governed by a lease, a private governance document that outlines the rules for both parties. The value of the house is now split. The owner gets financial value through rent, while the tenant gets use value through shelter and access to the property. The distribution of value from the house is therefore directly tied to this interplay of control, access, and governance. An owner with few governance constraints and full control over access can maximize their personal use value. An owner who rents out the property under a strict lease agreement prioritizes financial value. In a housing cooperative, the governance model is different again. Residents are both members and tenants. They collectively govern the property, sharing control and ensuring access for themselves. Section 4. The corporate veil. Who really runs the company? The world of business provides an even clearer illustration of how ownership can be fragmented. We are taught that shareholders own a company. If you buy a share of stock in a publicly traded corporation, you are, in a technical and legal sense, a part owner. This idea is central to modern capitalism. But does your single share of a giant company grant you any meaningful sense of ownership? Do you have any real control in the governance of the company? Do you have any real access in the governance of the company? Do you have any real say in the governance of the company? For the vast majority of shareholders, the answer is a resounding no. You are a passive owner, a financial beneficiary with virtually no power. The real control in a large corporation often resides with a small, insulated group, the executive management team. The real control in a large corporation often resides with a small, insulated group, the board of directors. The CEO has day-to-day control, making strategic decisions that shape the company's future. The board, which is supposed to represent the shareholders, hires and fires the CEO and approves major initiatives. However, boards are often populated by individuals from the same elite circles as the executives, creating a closed loop of power. The average shareholder's vote in a board election is a whisper in a hurricane. Access in the corporate context can be thought of in terms of access to the company's resources and profits. Shareholders have a claim on profits through dividends. Shareholders have a claim on profits through stock appreciation. Employees access salaries. Employees access benefits. Executives access lavish compensation packages and perks. Nowhere is the gap between perceived ownership and actual ownership wider than in the digital realm. We talk casually about my social media account, my online profile, my collection of digital music. We invest countless hours curating these digital spaces, uploading photos, writing posts, building networks of friends and followers. We feel a deep sense of possession over this digital identity we have created. It feels like ours because we made it. But in this new world, our intuition about ownership is a poor guide to the truth. When you create an account on a social media platform, you are not entering into a partnership of equals. You are agreeing to a complex governance document, the terms of service that you likely have not read. This document almost universally grants the platform company sweeping control. The company controls the software, the servers, the algorithms that determine what you see and who sees you. They can change the rules at any time without your consent. They can suspend your account, delete your content, alter the platform's features in ways that render your years of effort worthless overnight. Your ownership is entirely at their mercy. Your access is also conditional. You have access to your account as long as you abide by the platform's rules and as long as the platform continues to exist. But the platform has ultimate access to something far more valuable: your data. Every like, every click, every message is a piece of data that the platform collects, analyzes, and monetizes. You may own the photos you upload in the sense that you hold the copyright, but the platform owns the network, the context, and the vast behavioral dataset that your participation helps to create. The way we structure ownership, the specific blend of control, access, and governance, creates a powerful set of incentives that shapes human behavior. It determines what we care for, what we neglect, and what we strive to achieve. When these three pillars are aligned to benefit a single person, the incentive to protect and enhance the asset is strong. A person who owns, controls, and is the sole user of a classic car has every reason to keep it polished, tuned, and stored in a safe garage. The value generated, pride, enjoyment, financial appreciation, flows directly to them. However, when ownership components are split, incentives can become misaligned, leading to the tragedy of the commons. Imagine a public park. Access is open to all, but no single person has control. Governance is often weak or underfunded. Who has the incentive to pick up the litter? Ultimately, ownership is about power, the ability to control an asset, regulate access to it, write the rules that govern it is a profound form of power that shapes economies and societies. The name on the deed or the stock certificate is often a distraction from this more fundamental truth. Power is not in the title, it is in the rulebook. Visual flowchart. Rulemakers, governance. Controllers, users, access. He who writes the rules wins the game. This is why battles over governance, zoning laws, corporate bylaws, platform terms of service, trade agreements are so fierce. They are battles over the allocation of power. This hidden power dynamic explains many of the inequalities we see in the world. Consider urban development. So what are we to do with this expanded understanding of ownership? It is not a call to abolish private property, but a call to be more precise and more critical in our thinking. It provides us with a new lens to examine the world, a tool to identify the hidden structures of power that shape our lives. The first step is to become fluent in the language of real ownership. When you encounter a situation involving an asset, your job, your apartment, your online data, your local park, ask the three crucial questions. Who has control? Who has access? Who makes the rules? Answering these questions reveals the true nature of your relationship to that asset. It shows you where you have power and where you are powerless. It exposes the risks you might be facing, like the risk of your digital life being erased by a company you don't control. It clarifies where the value is flowing and whether you are receiving a fair share. This simple diagnostic act is an act of empowerment. If this reframed your assumptions, please like and share. Ownership explained. Control and value. Hidden rules. Ownership is not a fact of nature, it is a human invention. For too long, we have been mesmerized by the simple story of the paper title, ignoring the complex machinery of control and governance operating in the background. It is time to look behind the curtain. Don't just ask who owns it. Ask who controls it, who can use it, and who makes the rules. The answer to those questions is the real story of ownership, and it is the key to understanding who really has the power.